Hello and welcome back to another lovely little Nyxus guide in Skyrim. Today we are back in the Forgotten Vale for this one. We were here last time for the Paragons and all the places they teleport to and the treasure you can get for them. But today we are going to be looking for the 4 unknown books thrown all about this Forgotten Vale. Now, these unknown books are 4 ancient Falmer tomes that you can find, and once found, you can take them back to the librarian at the College of Winterhold, and he will buy each of them for 1,000 gold, and give you a translated copy for you to read. That being said, other than that, there's not really too much to do with them. They're just 4 kind of cool little collectibles that you can find. We're going to find all 4 of them today, and the first one is right about here after you pass through the Spider Valley Canyon bit here. Come back down, you're at the frozen river, and you may notice this skeleton and chest over here, and your first unknown book sitting right in front of it. Once you grab that, you will get the objective to bring it to Urog Groshub, the librarian of the College of Winterhold. We will do that, but we're going to collect the other 3 first, so let's go find them. Volume 2 is going to require probably the most exploration throughout the Forgotten Vale. Sorry about that. We actually discovered it in the last guide when talking about the Paragons. You need the Emerald Paragon in order. I cannot fucking speak. What is wrong with me? You need the Emerald Paragon in order to find it. And if you want to know more about the Paragons and the Paragon platform, you can go watch the previous guide. For this one in particular, I'm just going to cover the basics. After passing through the glacial crevice, you will arrive at this Falmer village in this little canyon here. You're just going to turn to your left and head up this hill here, and past this Falmer and the next one, you will discover a frost giant. You can kill this frost giant over here. There's a 3rd Falmer. Frost giant is, of course, all the way at the back here. You kill this frost giant right... where... His body might have despawned already, but you kill him and you get an Emerald Paragon off of his body. You're gonna want to take that Emerald Paragon to the Paragon platform, easily accessible from the Shrine of Resolution here, otherwise known as the Shrine, that is across the lake where the 2 dragons break out of the ice and attack you. You're gonna jump down, run across this river, up and over the hill here, and then down and to your left should be the Paragon platform right down here. And like I said, you're going to want to take the emerald one that I stored away at a house at the end of the previous guide. Once you actually have the Emerald Paragon, you're going to set it here in the Paragon socket. This portal will activate, and it will send you to the Forgotten Vale Overlook. And I was a little confused on where the chest was here in the last video, but I believe I remember. If you go all the way down here, it's all the way here at the end, and once again you have the 2nd volume just sitting in front of it. The 3rd volume is going to be a little bit easier to get. It is located near the entrance of the glacial crevice here. Before you enter, you're going to want to turn around and head up this rock bridge here, cross the next rock bridge, and then take a left onto that bridge. You can see the hut just down there in front of me. You can go around if you want, or you can just as easily jump down here to grab it, maybe take some fall damage. But inside is Volume 3 sitting on the table here. The 4th and final volume is going to be located about halfway through the Falmer village itself. This is the area just before going into the little cave section. You can see the cave entrance right there. You're going to want to work your way back over to here so you can walk back up this way into this hut right here with the big mammoth skull on top of it. And you'll see Volume 4 just sitting on the table. Now that we have all 4 volumes, let's go sell these. back at the college, all you gotta do is just walk up to Urog here, and he should give you the option to sell the books to him.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear?
We're clear, but do you have interest in these ancient Falmer tomes?
Well. I haven't seen one of these beauties in a long time. A rare find in the original Falmer language. You're damn right I'm interested. Question is, are you selling?
Depends how much you're paying.
Well, considering no one else in Skyrim would buy something they couldn't possibly read, I'd say you don't have much of a choice. Tell you what, you bring me books like this, and I'll pay 1,000 gold each. I'll even throw in a translated edition I have for free. Interested?
Deal.
Here you go.
All right, so he will take all 4 of them the first time. He'll take as many as you're carrying when you bring them to him, but he will give you the gold for each of them. I don't think it'll actually show that he's adding 4,000 gold to your inventory, but just trust me, he will add 4,000 gold, and if he doesn't, your game is glitched or something. I hate to put it like that, but just trust me, he is paying you for all 4 of them. All that's left to do now is to read some of these. Volume 1 can be translated into The Betrayed by Engwe Emeloth, translated from Falmer text by Calcelmo of Markarth. So you can see there that the librarian here isn't the one actually translating these. I guess he's sending them to Markarth and then getting the translations. And when the snow prince fell to ground, the ice elves divided above and below. Now vanquished and brutally bound, one moment had shattered all they did know. The once cool wind on their skin, now replaced with the heat of the flame, and a pride once felt deep within, forgotten along with their name. Torn from their home of ice and frost, thrown into the pitch-black dread of night, living in fear as their minds become lost, as their eyes begin dimming the light. Chained and enslaved, what once was light turned to blackness, alone and betrayed, sinking deeper into madness. This one obviously is about how the snow elves fell and requested help from their best buddies, the Dwemer, who immediately betrayed them, blinded them, and enslaved them, and drove them mad. Volume 2 translates to the Journal of Mirtil Angoth, once again translated by Calcelmo of Markarth. 4th of Evening Star. I used to dream of fighting in battles like my father. He had begun teaching me to fight the moment I was able to pick up a blade. Mother had argued that I was too young, but he paid her no mind. I can still remember the elation I felt the first time I bested father in a match and the look of pride on his face. If it were up to him, I know he would have allowed me to join him in battle. With me at his side, he may have fared better. Now with father and so many others slain, the old ones claim we are left with too few warriors to continue the fight. I was not the only young one to speak out in protest, but our small voices went unheard. It has been decided that we must flee to seek help and protection. 8th of Evening Star. News has reached us that the great Snow Prince has fallen in battle. The urgency to go into hiding has left many of us scattered, and those of us still together unsure of which direction to turn. In the long hours of night we keep huddled together, always fearing the worst until the first light of the blessed sun. May Oriel guide our footsteps. 13th of Evening Star. In the night I overheard the old ones whispering secrets of the underground and the Dwemer who dwell there. I thought back on stories father once told me of these dwarves, heroic tales of honor and glory. The old ones must know of these stories, for it has been decided that we will change course upon first light. I feel hopeful that the Dwemer will help us to avenge our fallen and reclaim our land. This one is a journal of a young girl, boy, I'm not too sure, after the fall of the snow elves, and wondering where they will take refuge. Volume 3 translates to the Diary of Faire Agarwen, Translated by Calselmo. Forward. The dates noted in this diary are translated literally. This verbiage matches no known modern measure of time and is assumed to be a custom form of counting the days and months. Excavations of ancient Falmer slave quarters have turned up brass vessels very similar to a deep bowl with 20 markings crudely etched onto the inside. Falmer scholars theorize that this bowl would be placed under a drip of water coming from an overhanging rock, and as the bowl filled, the water's level would reach these markings, thus indicating a crude passage of time. Because of this diary, the vessel has been called a Kolnir, a primitive Falmer timekeeping device. Third marking, 10th Kolnir. It feels like years since we were forced into hiding. I dare not write where we stay for fear of endangering the good people of this house should this diary be discovered. We have been shown a kindness by this family once known to the Snow Prince. Even in death, his great influence has ensured our safety. We were separated from many of our kin along the road when it became increasingly difficult to travel discreetly in our numbers. We were forced to go our separate ways and travel only at night. I have heard no news of where the others may have gone, and fear I never shall. Our lives are forever changed. 7th marking, 10th Kolnir. In the night, I find it difficult not to focus on times past. There are moments in my rest when I still hear the laughter of young ones at play in the valley. Other times I see the pale flicker of happy moments which were once so common in the land of the snow elves. I try not to dwell on these memories too long. Often our surroundings make it impossible to dwell on any happiness. We have been locked together in such close quarters for so long we grow tired of each other's company. Even the strongest of us have faltered with nothing to do but think on what is lost. I wake each day to forlorn faces and am reminded of where we are and all we have left behind. We are all yearning for a day when we can emerge from hiding and walk freely in the light once more, but I fear we are losing all hope that such a day will ever come. 10th marking, 10th Kolnir. I tire of the tears of women and children. My own have run dry. The men have begun to look upon us as if we are all weak, yet we have survived the same trials as they. I cannot bring myself to think on the numbers we lost in battle, yet I cannot force the images of my own losses from my mind. And now in a time when our people should be banding together, it feels we are drifting apart. The Nords have truly won. Our once great pride and unity are shattered. If we lose hope now, we will never survive. Today, many, myself included, have tried to speak out in voices of reason. There can be no hope without talk of our future. We can make no difference if our spirits remain broken. 18th marking, 10th Kolnir. We know that we can never again be the snow elves and live freely in this world. We will forever be in hiding in one form or another. But there is no reason we cannot live life with the sun and the wind against our skin. There are those here who are friends to us and plan to help us once the threat is ended. We know now to survive, we must be born anew. Outside, we will appear as though we belong here. Inside, we will carry our truth and our scars. This one is obviously about snow elves while they were enslaved, but I guess before they went blind? The final volume, Volume 4, translates to Touching the Sky by Darmian Saldor. Many of the most dedicated snow elves once committed themselves to a tireless journey through the chantry to the inner sanctum. They carried with them the paramount desire to become one with their god, Auriel. Though all set out with the determination to prove their worth, few were prepared for the trials that lay ahead. For the path to Auriel was not without its tribulations. The pilgrims struggled not only against the natural elements of the treacherous vale, but with a myriad of tests upon their faith and loyalty. It is told that many simply could not continue on the path for long before turning back. Some argue that the rebuke they endured during their return was crueler than any punishment that may have lay ahead of them along the path. In their failed attempt, they were forced to live in the shadow of those who did continue on to achieve the great glory and honor of ascension into the light. Forever after, their faith and loyalty in Oriel would be scrutinized and their remaining days filled with shame and regret. Tales of those who reached the inner sanctum are not without their share of woes. It is said upon their arrival that many were mere shells of the person they had once been. Some were quite mad from sleeplessness and starved to the point of frailty. By the end of their journey, the marvel that they had strength yet to carry their vessel and ascend the stairs of the temple was the last true testament of their loyalty. Regardless of each individual's tale, the final words remain eerily similar. It is said that every pilgrim ascended, bathed in light, a look of relief and contentment on their face. And obviously this last one is about the journey through the Forgotten Vale that most initiates would have to take to get to the inner sanctum, much like the journey that we had to take in the storyline of Dawnguard. And with that, that is everything to do with these forgotten tomes, these unknown Falmer tomes, unknown books, whatever you want to call them. And we're going to call it there. Next time, we have one final guide planned for our foray through Skyrim, and it involves more books, but these books are central to the plot of Dragonborn. That's right, we'll be going after all the black books of Solstheim. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.